Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. This is Lady of the Throne Divine Astrology, where God dwells within me as me, and I am here to bring to you your spiritual healing messages from the Holy Bible. I do this once a month. If you are new here, welcome. And I hope that you join us by clicking that subscribe button before you go. And if you resonate with this, I hope that you give it a thumbs up or drop a comment down below. And I hope that these messages resonate with you. And I hope that there's something that you need to hear at this time. May God be with you. I'm going to go ahead and get started with what messages are here for you, Gemini, at this time. These are current messages, so this energy will be temporary, okay? Let's see, Gemini. Okay, Gemini, we are on page 469, 2 Kings, 22:5. So the part that I'm being drawn to for you is the chapter called Amun, King of Judah. This Amun name is Amun-Ra, the god Amun, okay? King of Judah, King of Kemet, but in here it's called Amun, King of Judah, okay? Amun was 22 years old when he became king, and he reigned in Jerusalem two years. His mother's name was Meshullemith, daughter of Haruz. She was from Jadbah. He did evil in the eyes of the Lord, as his father Manasseh had done. He followed completely the ways of his father, worshiping the idols his father had worshipped and bowing down to them. He forsook the Lord, the God of his ancestors, and did not walk in obedience to him. Amun's officials conspired against him and assassinated the king in his palace. Then the people of the land killed all who had plotted against King Amun, and they made Josiah, his son, king in his place. As for the other events of Amun's reign and what he did, are they not written in the book of the Annals of the kings of Judah? He was buried in his tomb in the garden of Uzzah, and Josiah, his son, succeeded him as king. Okay, and right after that it says the book of the law found, which is probably really the book of the dead that they're talking about. But let me see what this means for you, Gemini. This is a blend of two belief systems. It's like taking the names from ancient Egypt and replacing it with a story from Israel. Okay, it's like the story is an Israel-based scenario, but the names are from Egypt. It's like blended and mixed up. Okay, that's one thing that I can see clearly with this. But this tells me that there's something about a situation in your life that you're experiencing or that you're noticing or witnessing, and it's all mixed up. It feels like you are someone who possibly follow, if you are a male Gemini, it feels like you follow a particular religious practice or belief system that may not be the full truth of history. It could be that there is elements involved that could be true, but mixed with something different that is also true. And the version of your understanding about the truth is jaded. If you are a female Gemini, this feels like you are witnessing a scenario or situation where someone, possibly two men, may be are, one could be pulling you away from your beliefs, while the other one could be pushing you toward your beliefs. And these two men could be at conflict. It could be posing as a conflict in your life if you're trying to follow a certain path or do things a certain way, but you've got one going in one way and one going in the other way, and you're just kind of like in the middle. And they both may sound right, but they're both coming from two different perspectives and two different places. And they're like, it could be that your feelings are involved with both. One may not really, everything that this person has learned or believes in may not be the truth of history, like the real truth. And I don't think both of them have that, the real truth of everything. But I feel like you're trying to stay true to who you are. It feels like some type of, and if it's not about religion specifically for the women out there, if it's not these two men with two different belief systems or backgrounds, then it could just be that one is like on the right path and one is not. Or maybe like one does things that may be considered quote unquote right, but may not be right enough for you because of what you believe, your morals, your values, your traditions. And the other one may have the same problem. Like, yeah, I get it that you two are saying this and saying that, and I get all of these little sweet nothings from the both of you, but it doesn't really feel like it's completely aligning with what I know to be as true, my beliefs. It's like, it feels like, yeah, it just feels like you have two men, or this is a story about two men who come from two different belief systems or backgrounds, and there could be some type of conflicts about belief systems. Or you could be the Gemini man if you're a man listening, and you may feel like like I said, what you believe in is true, but there's a lot of things missing from the story you believe. It's like, I think this is happening, this happened today with you hearing this message for your spiritual message, because Gemini, I think there's something here that you're starting to notice. Something is starting to become louder. Something is starting to become more visible and shown to you in a more supernatural way. It's just starting to come up often about how your beliefs may not be that thing that is 100% accurate for everybody. It may not be the full truth of the story. You may have to consider other perspectives and open up your mind about other things, because you have religion and then you have the universe. You have religion and then you have God. God is universal. Religion is spiritual, which means that spirituality is the overarching belief system above everything. So I think some of you are understanding the whole concept, but I think there's some missing elements. In this, it takes for you to look at things from a universal perspective. If you are a Gemini woman, this is just about two men who have like similar vibes, or you may have similar feelings for the two of them, but certain things about both of them have you going in two different directions, and it's based on how they present themselves, their characters. You may be noticing that one may have a lot of good things but doesn't have certain things, is missing things. The other one, same thing, may have some good things but maybe missing things. The whole time you're in the middle of these two, trying to elevate, trying to stay grounded and centered in what you believe and what you want to do, and how things are showing up in your life. You feel like you're doing way better mentally, spiritually, and emotionally than these two, because they may be really coming from a jaded perspective, or even their life, their childhood, their past is certain things intuitively as a woman that you're picking up on, and you're starting to see that the reason why something isn't aligning and fully clicking with both of them is because they're not doing the type of spiritual work that you're doing. If you're in prayer, if you're committing your life to Christ or to whatever you believe in, if you have a devotion, if you're devoted, if you have a ritual, if you have a practice, if you have something that you wake up and do every day, or you go before you go to bed, you do something, some type of thing for the women. It's like, I don't know, it's like you're trying to go to reach your higher self, and you want the best for yourself at this time in your life. But these two men may be pulling you in two different directions, confusing everything for you. But it's like, I don't really need all of the confusion. I just kind of want to do what I want to do, because I know what I'm doing is me doing the right thing. I don't want to lean too much on someone else's understanding. So for you, and let me use an example for you. It's like one of your male friends could be trying to get you to compromise your self-respect. The other male friend could be trying to get you to change your ways. And you're resisting both. Like, hold on. Just because you believe that a woman should go to do this thing doesn't mean that I'm that woman that's gonna do that. You know, it's like trying to still hold your ground, because you know that they don't understand so many things. There's so many things that these two male friends still have to learn about life, about God, about faith, about what you've gone through, about you, the fact that you know what real strength is. Even if you are a woman, you could have been through things that even these men were not ready to experience, and you may know that. You may be way stronger, way wiser, way more well equipped. Doesn't mean that they're weak. It doesn't mean stop dealing with them. It just means that mentally, emotionally, or spiritually, they may not be where you're at right now. You know, and that's just for the women. But the healing message for the women is these men may not, or one of them, could be that one of them may not end up being able to be with you, because it's too much compromising for you. It's too much interfering with your beliefs, traditions, and your values. Your moral compass is going crazy right now, because it's like, that's just not me. And it's okay to firmly state that as a woman, because you have to feel empowered and strong to be able to say exactly what's going on with you. And for the Gemini men, your healing message for today is to possibly consider what you believe in and what you have been taught and what you've been practicing, just to see the bigger picture. Because the way of the world right now is like, the world already has gone to a much higher frequency than I think you can comprehend right now. And the best way for you to stop experiencing pushbacks from the universe and trouble and, you know, like having to go through so many things with people right now, is if you start opening up and accepting the spiritual world way better. Because when you start to look beyond what you're learning or what you've been taught, you will understand that the world is bigger than your scope of thought. And you can manifest your reality, but there is a whole entire reality being created around you. Something that you can't explain why certain things are occurring in your life and the world around you. And it's because your mind is only thinking on one train of thought. Possibly expanding it will help you to see that the reason why everyone, quote unquote, everyone, seems to be into spiritual things is because everyone has had some type of enlightenment. It may feel like it's everyone, but that's really because this is really happening. The world is really rising, humanity is, and you may wonder why you're catching so much of that on the opposite side of the spectrum. That's because you've got to figure out how to achieve that nirvana that others are finding in the midst of this chaos. Sometimes it does take something a little deeper than just specific, organized, and structured ways of believing. Because the act of prayer and fasting and worship and service and fellowship and communion, that can be expressed in different ways by different cultures in society. But ultimately, every single thing I just named is a spiritual practice. There is no religion on this planet that exists without pulling from spiritual concepts. If you really break down every single thing you're doing and every single thing you're reading and every single thing you're believing, you will find spirit in all of it. And since it is a spiritual thing that you're doing, that you have learned and that you believed, you must not leave out spirituality, because what you're studying is the spirit that is inside of your religious practice. God is spirit. God is energy. God is prophetic. So you have to start seeing yourself from a much larger scope than just, oh, I'm just this one thing. Because that one thing derived from this bigger thing. All right, so that's your healing messages, Gemini. Okay, thank you so much, and I hope that has helped someone out there. I just think I just think right now Geminis are being called to go deeper in your connection with God. Go closer for that relationship the way that you're not used to, which will require disconnecting from certain people right now, certain things right now. Certain things may be too harsh for your energy. See, some of you may be becoming more light, more like a light body. And what that means is your frequency wants to ascend and elevate right now. The act of you being more health conscious, the act of you being more invested into your future, your finances, your stability, your foundation, the act of you asking more questions, the act of you thinking deeper, making better decisions, all of that is a spiritual growth. Your soul is growing. And it's raising higher and getting you closer to that stage of enlightenment that I could see that you're about to go through. But in order to get you there, I think it's time to let go of certain things that you know or that you think you know, so that you can fully come into your real power. You are on the brink of one of the most amazing things that's about to happen in your life. You're on the brink of something amazing. This has nothing to do with money. No matter what happens after this, because I know how you guys move. I say one thing and you try to manipulate it for the way you want it to be. But what I'm telling you is, this has everything to do with your spirit and the study of the spirit around you. You're about to grow so that you can step into spirituality and understanding what it really is and how it's connected to every single belief system on the planet. Just you taking it higher now, taking it another step, taking it, getting deeper into your faith. And it's a beautiful thing. When the mind opens up for a Gemini, it is going to require distance from a lot of people, a lot of friends, a lot of family. A lot of people will have to suffer as you go through this stage of your life. But it is a requirement if you truly do feel like you have some type of connection to royalty. What do you think makes a god a god? It is simply not money, diamonds, and riches. What makes a god is devotion. Not to family, not to material things, and definitely not your career. It is a devotion to God that no one is going to see publicly, that no one is going to ever know about. It is going to be those private moments when you risk it all for God. You're being called to step into a new world, and we welcome you.